Hi everyone, today we will create to-do list with React and Tailwind. First, let's install React packages with. We copy that, and after that, for this we open the terminal and write npm create with latest comment and enter. After installation, we need to install the necessary packages for Tailwind, and for this just type Tailwind with and search for it. First, let's install the packages with npm. And we copy that. After that, we paste it. Next, we write npx tailwind css init command to the terminal. Then let's continue step by step. Now we copy tailwind config.js and paste it, tailwind config.js, in our project. And after that, in the tailwind config.js file, I add Montserrat as primary in font family in them. We will use it as font primary class. And then font family primary Montserrat. Okay. And after that, and finally, let's install React icons with npm. We will use two different icons, one for editing the task, the other for deleting it. Okay. Then I delete everything in app.css. And after that, I forgot, we copy that index.css file and passed in our project. Okay. And now I delete everything we don't need in app.jsx. Okay, and I create a folder called components in source. Firstly, to-do list gsx and rafc. Okay, after that I add this file to app.jsx. And after that, from gsx and rafc, we will do from operations. And after that, edit gsx, here we will edit the task rafc. And finally, to do gsx rafc, here we will check the to-dos we created. Now we can start. Let's start the application with npm run dev. npm run dev. Okay, firstly we create a form tag in form JSX. And after that I add a class margin bottom for and font primary and width full. Okay. And after that, then I create an input type text as a class outline none and background transparent and border gray 500. And after that, padding y-axis for, padding x-axis for, or padding for, and width 300 pixel and text white and margin bottom 2 rem, and after that rounded and placeholder text gray 300. Okay. And I add a placeholder. What task do you have today? Okay. And now I create a button to text and add task as a class background gray 700 and border none and padding 2 and text white, and after that cursor, not cursor pointer, and rounded and margin left 2. And after that, now let's add form as a component to the list. We import a form. Okay. And after that, I add container class for to the list. Containers and background blue 950 and margin top 20 and padding 8 and rounded MD as class. Okay. Now let's go back to the form. We need to track the change in the input file. We can do this with useState. And first let's call constant value and set value and equalize it to useState. At first it should get an empty string. Okay. Then let's create an arrow function at first with the onChange method to input onChange, and I create arrow function and parameter events and console log event target value. Okay. I add a task. Okay, that's done. I don't like background color of the form. I will change it. Background gray 700. Okay. Now let's add event target value to set value. This way we can check the string entered in the inputs. I delete console log and set value event target value. Okay. Okay, is form on submit, and I create a handle submit function, and after that const handle submit and event parameters. And firstly, when the form is submitted, I prevent this with events prevents default method so that the page does not reload, and then after that console log value to check the text from the input. Okay, we test it. Okay. Now the issue is that we have this value here and we need to pass this value to the to-do state, and we can't keep the state here because other components need to access the state as well. So what we need to do is actually create this state in the main component to-do list. So here we are just going to import that per use state, and just below that I'm going to say first use states import, and I'm going to say const to do value and sets value, and after that equalize use state props And after that we need to use props. Okay, so in the to-do list I'm going to add property here called create to do, and create to do is equal to create to do function. Okay, function called create to do, and we need to create a function here, so I'm going to say const create to do and to do parameters, and after that set to do, no, sets to do, is that and that will be the value, and what we need to do is set the to-dos and to do that we need to create a copy of the current state, so we use the split operator and to do value, and we copy that and we add an id which will be equal to UUID before. id is UUID before, and a task by default is editing, and a task to do and is editing default is false. Okay, UUID before is a React library or package that creates a universally unique identifier, and we import them. Imports v4 as UUID before from UUID. Okay, actually we need to import UUID, so what I'm going to do is just copy this here and paste it here, and I'm just going to call UUID before, and so I'm going to initialize it. So we created this function right here in the to-do list. We need to import this prop, and so at the curly braces, so in the curly braces create to do, and after that in create to do, put create to do, and instead of console log create to do instead of console log, what we need to do here is add the prop, so create to do and pass this value, create to do value, and so we can pass the status from to the list. And what I'm going to do here under set to do is console log, so we can check it if it works. Okay, input value is a value. To do value is not iterable. Okay, sorry. Okay, and we want to clear the form after submitting the form, so we will set the value is an empty string, and if type something here it will be cleared if we press enter. Set value is a empty string. Now what I want to do is to be able to display the to-dos what that we have added. I'm going to go to the to-dos, and I'm going to give it the class name and flags just for between, and item center, and background violets 800, and text right. After that padding y-axis 3 and padding x-axis 4, and rounded MD, and margin bottom 1 rem, and finally cursor pointer. And after that, I will create a paragraph with a random value, such as going to school, and I will create a div go to school, and class name front primary. And after that I will create a div, then I'm going to create a div and I'm going to add icons here, and the first icon will be the edit icon, which is AI fill edit, and import them. Import AI from react icons AI, and after that the second icon is the delete icon, BS fill trash, and import them. BS, and I will add flex class and item center and gap x4, and then I will add a class for icon text x large, and copy that and paste here. And we need to import Todo JSX to to-do list, but we will add to do according to a state, so we will only add the tasks in to do. We will use map for this, its parameters, and to do value, to do value map and parameters to do and index, and we import to do. We add task props. We add task props to do as props, and it will take to do and index as key index. Now what we need to do is go to do and import the props, task, and then I will delete the text here and synchronize the text task dot task. Okay, so when we enter a task in input and press enter, the text will be created as task, and go to school and go to shopping and buy a tomato, blah blah blah. Okay, now it's time to delete the tasks we created. For this, I add a property called delete to do, and the property delete to do is a delete to do function. After that, we create a function called delete to do. Parameter is a ID, and set to do filter, and to do value filter, and to do parameter is to do ID is not equal to ID. Okay, in other words, if it's not equal to the ID of the task we clicked, it will not be deleted, but if it's equal, it will be deleted. Okay, now let's add this function to do as props, and firstly import delete to do, and call this function when the trash icon is on click, and I create a error function, and delete to do is parameter as task.id. Okay, now let's do the same for the edit icon, and on click, and I create the error function and edit to do, and parameter is a task.id, and import them. And after that, when the edit button is on click, the edit to do function is called. After that, now let's pass it to do list as props, and edit to do and edit to do. Another function called edit to do to the props. Now I need to create this function. Const edit to do id parameters and set to do value map to do, and to do id is equal to id if is true, and I use spread operators, and to do copy that, and is editing not equal to do is editing, and if it's false, and to do. Okay, we check them. Go to school, buy a chicken, blah blah blah, and I click a delete icon. It's deleted. Okay, now we can move to edit JSX, but first I copy form from JSX from the form and paste it into edit JSX, and const edit and export edit, and input placeholders, update task, and button text update task, and not create to do is edit to do and task, edit to do and task, and not create to do is edit to do value and task id. Okay, as props edit to do and task will be passed, and we need to import the props in to do. Okay, now here is what we will do. If to do is editing is true, and to do is editing is to do true, edit JSX, and if it is false, and to do JSX. As a props, edit to do is a edit task function, and after that, and task to do. Okay, now I will create the edit task function. Constant edit task, props is a task and id. Okay, and set to do value map, and to do parameters, and to do id is equal to id if it's a true, sorry, and I use a spread operators, and to do task and is editing not equal to do is editing, and false is to do, and edit key is index. Okay, let me start again. So it launch, okay, it's done, and go shopping, and walking and reading, blah blah blah. Reading is updated. Go to school. Okay, and I deleted the task. It's done. And I create a task and I update a task. Okay, and go to shopping. Okay, it's done. Thanks for watching. Don't subscribe to my channel and like my video.